Hi, how are you guys?
Really great, really great. Fired up.
So, what's your deal?
My deal? I'm just a regular guy with a regular job, but I've got this condition where I don't feel pain.
Amigos de Combo, bienvenidos, tenemos el close-up, o sea, las entrevistas exclusivas de la nueva película que está por llegar a cines que se llama NOVOCAINE. Así es, protagonizada por los que les gusten las series, sí, lo han visto en The Boys, y ahora salta al cine con esta película que tiene romance, que tiene acción, que tiene mucho gore, mucha sangre y mucho humor involuntario oscuro en el camino. Así que vamos a platicar con los creadores, con los protagonistas, y veamos qué nos dijeron. I'm very curious about the origin of the story. Is it based in real facts in any percent?
No, as far as we know, the events of this story did not take place. We should probably have a disclaimer at some point. But no, this was something that we got. We got this script sent to us, and there was just this incredible concept at the middle of it, of this action star who was an unlikely action star. So he was somebody who didn't know how to fight and had this rare genetic disorder, and we were so taken by that, and we realized that what it needed was, the original version of the script was a little bit more serious. It was still about a guy with this condition who couldn't feel pain and goes on this quest to save the woman he loves, but it was a little more serious and down the middle. And so part of our take as directors was to go in there and really put our tonal stamp on it and bring some more humor into it. And so luckily the producers kind of, let us do that, and we were able to kind of craft this story that is both really violent, obviously, at times, but it's also really funny. And so because of that, you have this juxtaposition of extreme gore, but then laughter and heart and romance right next to it. And that just felt like something we hadn't seen. And we wanted to make an action movie so bad, but we didn't want to make one that felt like all the other action movies, or, make one that was just your usual protagonist who's a super assassin or something who can fight all these guys at once. It felt a little bit more relatable to us as two guys who cannot fight, to have this protagonist who, rather than being on his front foot and attacking people, was constantly just flailing and trying to stay alive and throwing everything that he could find in the room at this person who was a physically superior adversary. So that was the thing that really drew us to it.
Yeah, the superpower in a regular guy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing more relatable than that.
Would you wait around for someone else to save her? Or would you do it yourself?
What the fuck is that?
How was your experience making this movie that it has a lot of dark humor, a lot of pain?
Really fun, really fun with all the dark humor. Yeah, it turns out it was positively electric.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I mean, I had such a blast. I loved getting into all these fight scenes. I loved working with Amber. We became best friends almost immediately, and that was incredible.
Yep.
What is happening? And no, it was a really big challenge. I've never done this many fight scenes before. How do I do these fight scenes from Nate's perspective, where he's not a fighter and he can't feel pain? Huge challenge, but I think the stunt team was incredible and really helped me get through that, and Amber's incredible and really helped us develop this.
How did I help you in your stunt scenes?
No, not in the stunt scenes, but more so in the, I think the core of this movie is that it's a romance, and I think us being really good friends right off the bat, I think that led to some good chemistry.
He just is the best person who he cannot handle a compliment, so I'm like waiting for him to fall apart.
Yeah, okay.
He's been turning into a human shrimp
She's been doing this all day, yep.
As soon as you say something nice about him, he crumbles.
I'm squirming right now.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you just, like, it's not easy, I think, to play this character and to balance all of these things, to be like a great romantic lead and also be an action hero, but one that feels different and relatable and also funny. And there's nobody who could have like embodied that better or executed this better than him. And you just crushed it.
Oh,
so
thank you.
You did a great job.
It was.
Take your victory.
So did you. Take your flowers. Take your flowers. Do it.
All right.
No, but we had a blast. It was great. So amazing.
Hey, there we go.
Oh my God, you're a superhero.
No. Can you feel this?
Ya lo vieron, ¿qué pasaría si no sintieras dolor en absoluto? En absoluto, nunca has sentido dolor en tu vida, no tienes esa capacidad. Ojo, a ver, ubíquense muchachos, el dolor es un mecanismo de defensa. Para todo lo que te quema, inmediatamente te mandan un mensaje al cerebro, hay dolor, te está quemando y entonces quitas la mano de lo que te está haciendo sentir mal, como el fuego o como cualquier cosa. Imagínate no tener esa capacidad, pues bueno, esa es la condición de este brother. Algunos lo podrían llamar una maldición, otros lo podrían llamar un superpoder. Ellos como lo ven. How are you with the pain thing? Do you have like you are resistant or you are like a thin skin?
I'm very thin skinned, like paper.
I'm resistant to physical pain, but like emotional anguish, I'm like,
Tiene mucho humor físico y hacen muchos efectos de manera práctica, o sea, fabrican manos para poderles dar en la madre, para poderlas hacer daño, para poder hacer que sangren, que se golpeen y que se vea lo más realista posible. Y ustedes, en el mundo real, ¿qué es lo más doloroso que han experimentado? Seguramente nada más de acordarte te está doliendo. Ellos mismos también nos platican su experiencia.
I don't think I have a super high pain tolerance necessarily, but I also don't think it's super low.
What do you think is your limit?
What is my limit? I mean,
It's hard to say.
Which is the biggest pain that you have experienced in your life?
oh, I bruised a rib before. That is not fun at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
What about you? What about you?
Leading question. Well, there's a few that come to mind. I think when I was young,
I just know what's coming. It's my favorite thing.
he knows my answer. When I was like 6 years old, I got trampled by a horse. And it wasn't that bad. I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't have any like severe injuries, but it just was scary and painful. And I think I was out of it for quite a while.
Did you ever, I assume these are horses that you would ride?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get back on the horse?
Oh my God. Well, yes, I actually didn't ride those horses, but one time also, my first horse ever, he ran away with me. When
With
we,
you
like,
on top of
Yeah,
him?
we took him out on a trail ride, and he used to be a racehorse. He was retired, and he just took off, and I was
He
so...
wanted to relive his glory days?
He was like, I can get away with this.
She's tiny, she's basically
She's
a jockey.
She's a little girl. I can do this. Yeah, and it was terrifying, and I was like so upset by it. I was like, I don't ever want to see this horse again. And then my mom bought him. I was like,
Yes.
this is your horse.
And then it was super awkward at the dinner table. Insane.
Hey man, you okay?
Yeah, what's your first reaction when you have pain? Like the screaming, or you are like muting, or
I think it's like the shock first.
yeah.
And then I look down at it, and then that's when I start tripping the out.
Yeah, yeah. I weirdly just start laughing. Like I'm like, oh, ouch. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Last night was amazing.
open the vault! Do you remember the worst thing that you have experienced with the pain thing?
The worst thing, probably getting rejected in my face.
In the heart?
Basketball? Or...
with a big fist.
Oh no.
Other than that,
Pretty good. Yeah.
pretty good after. Besides that,
That's about feelings, right?
both
Yeah.
feelings and physical.
Yeah. There's nothing like getting your heart ripped out. It's really, you know.
Right.
That's another story.
No, right.
I just want to know where Sherry is. You ever fired a gun before?
I think that you as a people that loves movies and cinema, you enjoy a lot to make all these props and these physical and practical effects. How was that process? You make everything almost, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it was, we strived to do as much practically in this movie as we could. It just looks better, you know, nothing against VFX. We had a very talented VFX team too, because of course you can't do everything practically, but it just always feels more, you know, tactile and handmade and bespoke when you can have all these things be real. And so we had an amazing prosthetics team that, you know, did all of the wound work and, you know, Jack's sort of slow progression toward, you know, into the end of the movie when he's all swelled up and doesn't have a tooth and, you know, his arm is half broken. And yes, all of the props involved in the movie too. That was just so much fun. As directors, that's one of the most fun things. You know, you do these prop show and tells a few times through your prep phase, where you go into the prop room with the whole, prop master and the assistant prop master, and they show you all the different, all the different firearms that you can choose from, and all the different arrows to use that are going to go into his leg, and all the different, cell phones that the guys are going to have. And it's just like, I don't know where they source all these, but it is so fun to do that. And it just kind of gives, you can obviously kind of just discard that part of the process if you want and just say, yeah, do whatever. But that attention to detail is often what makes a movie feel like you actually made it with love, which we really did. We try to pour every ounce of ourselves into our movies and really care about the details and making sure they support the logic and the motivations of the characters and everything. So it was very, very fun just making this film feel as handmade as we could.
What's up? Oh, sorry. It's fine.
And how difficult it's to make these kind of scenes with a lot of things that it's happening, with a lot of physics happening in the scene. I think that everything can go wrong in some seconds, but I don't know how was the process with you.
I mean, it was easy for me. I feel like everyone else did like the crazy physical manual labor.
It's really fun, man. You just get a rhythm for it, and then you're in that energy, and it's like a really upbeat, fun energy to be around. So it was just an absolute blast.
With the villain, it has this pleasure because you can make some pain without the real thing, right?
Yeah.
How was that experience to have the scenes?
I mean, I think that was just the key to the character. It's somebody that takes pleasure in making pain, and then he finds his adversary in someone who can't feel pain, and like how frustrating that is. So that was sort of the dynamic at play in the movie, and it was a lot of fun.
So those are definitely third degree, so you're gonna want to run it under some cool water.
Yeah, of course, the meaning of the story of the movie, it's about dark humor and a lot of action. But do you have another message to the people, to the audience with this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it was about taking a step out of your comfort zone. I think a lot of people are adverse to discomfort and pain, and I think that, what this is saying is that there are some things that are worth hurting for. And your life is one of those things, so you should just get out there, put a little dirt on it, and keep going,
Yeah, keep going.
Oh my God, what am I doing?
There's a lot of action and a lot of gore and a lot of dark humor, but the thing is that it's about humor in all these scenes. Even with you, you had the opportunity to make some improvisation scenes with the torture thing. Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dan and Bobby, I think, deserve a lot of credit for that. And they, we would rehearse with them a lot, not just the action scenes, but, a lot of the scenes that had to do with Sherry and Nate and them getting to know each other. So once we had those scenes dialed in, they really allowed us freedom to improvise and add lines and, just kind of have fun with it. Once we would get it the way that it was scripted a few times, we could just kind of have a ball, and they could choose to use this weird stuff that we said, or they could take it out of the movie. But having that freedom to just kind of do whatever, and there's no wrong answer. That was wonderful, and I love it every time a director gives me that freedom.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Also incredible with improv.
But
just like the best one-liners. It's just a fact.
I know. I really get.
You're really good at improv.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you. It was such a fun time. I can't take a compliment. I'm sorry.
Why don't you just call the police?
Do you think I'm in on this?
Manslaughter, Grand Theft Auto.
You know what it's like to wait your whole life to meet someone who finally gives your life meaning?
And you put this this Eastern egg with the Home Alone thing. You are fans of that kind of scenes, or how did you imagine to do this?
I mean, like I said earlier, when we took our pass on the script, part of our pitch to the producers when we were trying to get the job to direct this was was that scene. You know, we were like, this movie needs a scene where he's going through a booby-trapped house. It needs to have a scene where he's being tortured and he's pretending that he can feel pain. Like, we've got to have more fun with this concept. And then, you know, the actual the shooting of that was so fun because, you know, we built that whole interior of that house because the booby traps, you know, they were so intense that you couldn't, you know, go to an actual house and build all that stuff because you'd have to destroy it. And so we sort of built this replica of a house that we scouted, and we were able to put all those fun little booby traps into it, and it was all there, you know, waiting for us when we went to shoot. And so, yeah, it was so fun. And then the torture scene itself was an absolute riot because everybody was laughing. The whole crew was laughing, as, you know, and there's so much footage on the cutting room floor because, you know, we kept blowing takes because Jack was improvising all these different, you know, pain reactions, and people were cracking up, ourselves included. And yet that's when we knew the movie was gonna work too, you know, because if you can get the whole crew laughing, a bunch of people who are not supposed to laugh, you know, then you know that an audience who came there to laugh and to have a good time is really gonna eat it up.
Understand pain. Oh, no, stop it. Wow, that hurt. That one hurt the most.
Thank you, Amber, Jack. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you guys.
And by the way, I love your shelf behind you. It's very cool.
Thank you.
Background is amazing.
Come and visit me.
Oh yeah, we'll do. Take care.
Yo soy Alex Montiel, por favor, síganme en las redes sociales. Si ya vieron la película, comenten acá abajito en la cajita lo que les pareció, lo que más les gustó, lo que no les gustó, o lo que piensan, la expectativa que les ha causado. Suscríbanse, síganme en las redes sociales y nos vemos en el cine. Bye.
NOVOCAINE? It is you! I thought you'd be dead by now.
Well, I'm not.